You're listening to the ASOTU CON Sessions by Effectv, recorded live in Philly. Claude Silver, thank you so much for spending some time with us on ASOTU CON Sessions by Effectv. It is always great when we can get some outside auto industry wisdom inside the auto industry. So thank you for stopping by.
Let's do it. I'd be here any day.
Okay, so you know a little bit about the auto industry. You own a car. You know me.
I do.
Right?
I do.
And you've worked with some automotive clients via agency in the past. Can you just give us a few seconds on your background, just in general, your whole background?
Yeah, sure. Advertising, been in advertising for years and years and years and years. Now I'm the Chief Heart Officer with Gary Vaynerchuk at Vaynermedia.
What does that actually mean? I always tell people it means second in command.
It means, second in command, and also just infusing empathy and touching every single person, making sure that everyone knows that they're valued and they matter, and we want them to thrive.
And so through your agency life, have you worked with a lot of people? Any automotive intersections there?
Yeah, we did a Toyota before, Lexus in my previous world, Fiat in a previous world.
Yeah.
And then you, and then I met you.
And then you met me, and you had no idea why I had anything to do with cars. So automotive is, I think, an intrinsically human product because I think it affects more people in the country. Actually, I think it affects everyone. And I can't think of another retail product that does. Like, even if you say like retail chains like McDonald's or Coca-Cola, these big brands, people don't need those.
No.
Right? Everyone needs a vehicle to take them or to take something to them.
Yeah.
And so I believe that this industry has the power to affect more people than any other industry. When you think about the people aspect of automotive and the people aspect of working for a dealership, the people aspect of the transaction that happens when people buy and sell a car, what are some of the first things that come to mind?
Intimacy is the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, it is such an intimate buy. You are going to sit your butt in that seat for miles and miles. Your family's going to be in there. You want safety. And also, I can imagine it's really difficult to be a salesperson having to make your numbers. So I think there's a real big kind of seesaw that must happen.
Right.
You
Impact on overall life, really.
Yeah.
Right. This is a vehicle that I'm going, like, it's a purchase, it's not like a phone.
No.
Right. People, like, in the auto industry, a lot of people talk about, well, we need to be more like Apple. But the truth is, the 14 just came out. I'm on the upgrade program. I tapped a few buttons, and now I'm going to have a new one. It doesn't change my life really that much. But a car can never be that easy because it's like between $25,000 and $50,000 if you're going by just basic used car prices.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just so, I can't not use the word intimate and a relationship. I mean, I'm in a relationship with my car. When I drove up here today, I'm talking to Siri, I'm on Apple Play, I'm using all the dials, like, I'm looking at my tire pressure, I'm interested.
And there's like a environmental intimacy as well.
Exactly.
You get in, right? It's like the sights, the smells, the touch, right? It gives you a sense of comfort and familiarity as well.
Yeah.
And so I think when we talk about the car as a product, it's much more than something you hold in your hand or much more than something you eat. It is something that actually you experience, like through and through. People. We were just talking in one session on how the data is all showing, it doesn't matter what your philosophical approach to the data is, the data shows that we just have less people on the way than we ever had in the past. Less babies being born, right? Population, it's going to shift the whole landscape. Folks that were about to retire when the pandemic hit decided to cash out early at a large scale, right? 6-7 years early and move into it, meaning that we are going to have less people to fill vocational seats in the future, actually not enough. So what approach do you take to hiring, and I'm just talking about your approach at Vayner in general, what approach do you take to get people to say, we want to be with you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it literally starts way before the person even thinks about us. So our brand reputation is extremely important in making sure we're consistent in that, whatever it is we're talking about. So people first, kindness, empathy, so forth and so on. And then getting them into the chair and making them know that we are here for them. We trust them. We want them to win.
When you say we,
I mean the culture, Gary, myself, every single person in that organization is paddling in the same direction. And it's a we, not I culture. You cannot win with an I.
It's very odd in the agency world for people to stay somewhere more than 24, 36 months, right? I mean, that's kind of the churn, right? We thought we had it pretty bad in automotive. The agency world's pretty rough, right?
Yeah.
What does it look like at Vayner?
I mean, I'm there 8.5 years, which is my longest anywhere. We've got the people that were started with us at 13 years. I would say we've got 13 down to 6, and that's our biggest kind of girth of population, which is enormous.
Is there anything else like it
I don't know
in the industry?
No, I mean, the longevity, the loyalty, the resilience, the teamwork, the camaraderie, everything.
I think like the feeling of trajectory is something that's palpable for me. I've been a part of what Vayner is doing for a while now, long enough to see some of the folks that were interns when our paths first crossed, probably 6 years ago or so, to now running teams of 100, being responsible for actually entire business units. And when we were at VCon, one of the things that I noticed very clearly was they felt like they did it.
Yeah.
Right? It was like it was their conference. There was this sense of ownership. How do you build that into your organization? I know you said some words, right? But this is a short podcast. Auto dealers have a stigma of not being a great place to be, or a stigma of a place where, just like the agency world, where it's like, oh, someone will come here and then they'll go and then someone new will come. Where do you even start?
I mean, high touch. That means not only myself or Gary, all leaders touching people, reaching out. How are you? You want to get 15 minutes. You want to go for a cup of coffee. Showing every single person the accessibility and the availability of leaders, which helps with retention. That's exactly it. And really, like, what do you need? Do you want to shift companies? Do you want to shift positions? Like, what do you want to do in 5-10 years?
So you're like allowing lateral movement within the company.
Oh, we're
encouraging it, actually.
We're encouraging it. That's one of our winning formulas. Like retention and promotion from within or across, laterally, over the seas. Like, that's a win for us, because you take people from the States where our headquarters is and you plant them in Amsterdam, our new office. They're just bringing the water to Amsterdam.
Right. You have to incubate. This is one of the things when I first went through the mentor program, because my reconditioning business had scaled culture geographically, several, like 3-4 hours away. And what the team at Vayner, Mark Evans, who's still there, he and Maribel as well, were saying, we've really found that you need to incubate culture for a year before you send that person out.
Yes. So, Paul, when I started at Vayner, Gary and I were talking about me leading London. And when he gave me the job offer, he said, I need you to be in New York for 12 to 14 months because you need to see my DNA. You need to have my DNA. And I never left.
Yeah, you're like, it's too good here.
I've been there.
I can fly there.
Yeah.
I can help them.
And now it emanates off of everything we do. I think you just said it. When you're in that office, you feel an energy. You feel we're going someplace.
Yeah.
Everyone feels like we are disrupting, and I mean that in the best of ways, the industry. And we're really bringing our marketers and our brand people to the next century, because they need to wake up and go where their consumers are, finally.
Claude, I know we don't have a lot of time today. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me on ASOTU CON Sessions by Effectv.
Thanks, Paul.